This was made by the linguist that I mentioned last week, from Lachute Seed. Um, so a little background on, this method, and then this part, we're going to go over the journal. So language learning versus using language. You heard me talk about language use last week a little bit. So for language revitalization, the goal is language use, not language learning. Language use drives language learning. Language learning involves understanding how the language works. In this view, language revitalization is getting the language spoken. So that's what we mean by using the language is speaking it on a daily basis, in a way that's practical, in a way that you're actually using it to communicate with people. So yeah. And let's see. Okay. Defining language revitalization. So for the context of this class and this method, in the beginning stages of language revitalization, the following are a few easy metrics that can be used to evaluate language expansion. How many people are speaking? How much time a speaker uses a language each day? How many ways language is used? Example, introductions, instructions, speeches, conversations, prayers, etc. And then background. So this is Zeke's background for teaching language use. He began teaching Lachute Seed in 1989. For the first 20 years, he used full immersion, which is, where you only speak in the language. And that's like kind of the biggest one that's suggested for language revitalization. TPR, total physical response. So that's kind of like connecting movement with the language, and other things. The result was many learned the language well, and a small handful even became teachers, but none of them, pretty much 100%, used the language. And what he means is that just because somebody can speak the language doesn't mean that they will speak the language. Because plenty of people, maybe they grew up, speaking a certain language and they moved somewhere else, and then they don't speak it anymore because there's no one to speak it with. So just because you know a language doesn't mean you're actually going to use it in your daily life. So what happened is the language was only in the classroom. So if they were teachers, they would speak it while they're teaching it, but as soon as they leave the classroom, they're not speaking it anymore. And that happens a lot with students too. They speak it in the classroom, but as soon as they finish the class, they graduate, whatever, they don't speak it anymore. So this is a common problem with language revitalization. So in 2011, he began teaching in terms of language use, i.e. use the language every day. The number of language users in terms of people using language every day, roughly an hour a day, then began to increase. So where do we start? Project, I have like kind of 4 simultaneous projects in this class. Project 1 is get a bound journal to record the language you use in the home. Project 2, reclaiming domains. And Project 3, language nest, plan on establishing a language nest. And Project 4, conversation, practice simple conversations if you can, even if you're just starting. And so that's what I had you do last week. So we're just gonna go over journal today. So Project 1, journal. There's a little picture of the cover. So you write the language name, the date when you're starting it, and leave space for the, when you finish that journal, and book 1, and then your name. And then number your pages up here, or wherever you want to put a page number. And then at the beginning you have your name, and then you have who you're talking to. Well, put when they're born, a little information. Oh, this is about yourself. Yeah, so you put a little information about yourself. When you were born, who your parents are, and your languages. Then for entries, then yeah, you see page number, the date for when you're making that entry, who you talked to, and the topic, and then you just like list some of the words that you learned and the translation, and just maybe a little bit of the context, and then you leave space on the left side for notes, like extra notes. So this is like if you're, talking to a speaker, and we do still have people who know words and phrases. So, if you have someone in your family who, knows some things from when they were young, a lot of elders, so you can ask them, phrases, and it's interesting because a lot of times at first they'll say like, oh, I don't really know much, or it was so long ago. But you kind of have to jog their memory, just get them talking about it, and then sometimes like just out of nowhere they'll just say stuff that you'll learn a word or a phrase that I don't have on here. So yeah, and you can also record stuff that you learn here too. So yeah, and yeah, that's it for today on that. So any questions about the language journal?
Where are you reading this from? What folder?
Oh, so this would be in, I think I put it, yeah, I put it in the syllabus folder. It's this slideshow right here, this Google slide. Yeah. So yeah, you can go over that if you want to review it. All right. If no other questions, oh, go ahead.
Oh, can that notebook be like a digital notebook, or does it have to be like a handheld journal?
I mean, I think ideally handheld, but if you prefer digital, I don't see why that's wouldn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I kind of forgot to mention, I guess the idea, or at least from what I was told, is if you think about like your future kids or grandkids or whatever descendants, if if they find this journal of yours, they might think it's cool to see all these recordings and kind of see your process of learning the language. So it's kind of there to be passed down a little bit. Yeah. So, and I'll admit, this is probably the part that I struggle with the most, because it's like I'm doing all this other stuff. So then it's like I don't want to write extra stuff down, but I try to do it here and there. Yeah. All right.
I have these little things, and it's a little bit different, but
Oh, okay.
I do this that way. I can just flip through there, like I have like my notes of how to say introduce myself and all that. It doesn't have like the information of like the dates and all that, so maybe try and find something a little different.
Are they flashcards?
Yeah, they're those. It has the little ring on it. So
Okay.
what I did, I wrote it. Now don't kill me, Connor, but I wrote it how I heard it. And then and then in Pit River, and then in the back I wrote it like this.
Okay. Well, as long as you have it in this orthography also.
Right. No, I'm gonna start, but that was
Okay.
sorry.
No worries.
See, I've been doing my other one on this next one. I'll get a book.
All right, cool. Well, good. Yeah. I mean, if that helps you remember the words, and then yeah, I mean, if you can like put the date or whatever on those ones, then yeah, that counts. I mean, shoot, why not? All right, cool. Okay, so now we'll continue on the alphabet here. So yeah, we did that last week. So we're on a glottal stop, which is represented by this apostrophe here. And this is a sound that we do have in English. I mean, depending on your accent, but this is something that we do. We just don't have a symbol for it in English, but it's something we already do. So like, you know, this isn't like technically a word, but you know, in the middle, that little pause right there, that's a glottal stop. And what that means is there's like a muscle in your throat called a glottis, and it closes and it stops the air. So that's why it's called a glottal stop. But yeah, just means when your throat like stops the air from going through to make, you know, make sound. You know, and like in English, okay, so like everybody say what?
What?
Okay. So
What?
notice, yeah. So at least in our kind of West Coast accents, we don't really say what. We say what. So that's a glottal stop. We replace the T with a glottal stop a lot of times in English. So in Pitt River, you can't really do that. So like this word, mutja, you're supposed to pronounce this T right here, mutja. And kind of in our tendency might be to say mutja, but that's actually a glottal stop, not a T. So yeah, so here we have some example words. Sasula ai. So you can hear that little glottal stop right there. Sasula ai. Or here we have sla-a. Sla-a. I know this TS is kind of crazy looking, but sla-a. And then this is probably a word a lot of you guys know. He-e. He-e. So that little stop right there is this apostrophe. He-e. All right, so I'm gonna have everybody say these. So Tawea, Sasula ai.
Sasula ai.
Okay, pretty good.
Fine. Okay.
And Chris, Sasula ai.
Sasula ai.
Yep, pretty good. And Lisa, Sasula ai.
Sasula IE.
Sasula ai.
Sasula IE.
So I kind of hearing you put actually you're putting a glottal stop like over there.
Oh, okay.
Sasula ai.
Okay.
Ai.
Sasula IE.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. And Letty, Sasula ai.
Sasula IE.
Yeah, good. And Kenwa, Sasula ai.
Sasula ai.
Yep, good. And next we have Sla'a. Sla'a. Tawea, Sla'a.
Sla'a.
Oh, yeah, good. And Chris, Sla'a.
Sla'a.
Yep, good. And Lisa, Sla'a.
Sla'a.
Yep, good. And Letty, Sla'a.
Sla'a.
Good. And Kenwa, Sla'a.
Sla'a.
Good. All right. And then here we have this last word, he. Tawea, he.
He.
Good. Yeah. And Chris, he.
He.
Yep. Good. Good. And Lisa, he.
He.
Yep. Good. And Letty, he.
He.
Good. And Kenwa, he.
He.
Good. All right, yeah, pretty straightforward. Almost, almost made a King of Pop joke. Yeah. It's a little bit like that. Yeah, you don't have to be quite as high pitched there, but yeah. Jamona. Awesome. Yeah, any questions on the glottal stop?
Could we do the I might be again one more time?
Sure, yeah. Sla
Sla'a.
yeah. Kind of that TS is like ts, ts, sla
Sla.
Is it the same as the sound where you put your T behind your teeth and then let the air go on the side of your tongue? Like schwa?
No. I know what you're talking about. No, we actually don't have that in Pit River.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of other languages like around us have that sound, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
we don't have that one.
That one. Okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah, we have other hard sounds. All right, cool. Okay, so this is important because now we have letters here. That's kind of like combining this with like these, combining a glottal stop with letters. So these are glottalized letters, glottal letters. So what this does is it's kind of like you're making a glottal stop as you're saying the sound of that letter. And what this does is it kind of makes your voice creaky a little bit. So I'll just give you examples here of just these syllables. So this would sound like ah, 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 ah. So it's kind of creaky, you know, ah, 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 ah. And like the sound kind of stops for a quick second. They are voiced after the glottal stop. It's kind of unvoiced after like it just pops like a tiny bit. Ah, 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 ah. So like kind of like an unvoiced P. And then the T would be ah, ah, ah. And then the C, glottal C would be like ch, 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 and the glottal K would sound like uh, uh, uh. And the glottal Q, this is a hard one. This would be like uh, uh. So I'll just say all of these example words here. Kind of, yeah, this usually helps. So it's a little harder when it's at the beginning of the word because you don't have like that vowel before to kind of like stop it, you know. But the creakiness part kind of helps you. So this would be like Inuk, Inuk. So if you said it without the P, it would just be like Inuk, Inuk. So this I is like kind of creaky. Inuk, Inuk. And then here we have D, D, D for snow, D. Then here we have J, J. Instead of Che, it's not Che, it's J, J. And then here we have two glottal Ks in this word. So kokos, kokos, kokos. And then here the glottal Q is closey, closey, closey.
It's like close selectui or
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that means like yeah, closey is juniper. But it kind of also became like you could use it for to mean a bow or a gun, but originally it means like the juniper wood. And then lek is like a flat area or something flat. So Osialekti is like juniper flats. And then the we on the end for the band name, that's like that we means like that kind. So it's kind of like saying the, juniper flat people. Yeah. Yeah, all the band names like mean something usually to do with like the kind of the area that they live in. Okay. So I'll have you guys try saying these example words here. All right. So Toea, Inuk, Inuk.
Inuk.
One more time.
Inuk.
Man, I almost can't hear the P.
Inuk.
Try saying the P just a little bit more.
Pin. Pinuk.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that? Can you say it again?
Sure. Inuk, Inuk.
Pin Inuk.
One more time.
Pin Inuk.
No, just Inuk.
Pinuk.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
Chris, Inuk.
Pinuk,
No, one more time.
Pinuk.
Okay, pretty good. Just try. I noticed. Well, what helped me was if you just try to do the Inuk, Inuk.
Pinuk.
Yeah, and then just kind of put a P on the front of that.
Pinuk.
Yeah, good, really good. Lisa, Inuk.
Inuk.
Okay, I'm gonna say the same thing. Try just saying Inuk.
Inuk.
Okay,
Inuk. Pinuk.
Inuk. Like,
Pin.
can you do the like really make that I like yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
It- It's so hard.
It is.
Makes
It
me
is.
want to laugh. Pit. Pit.
Okay, just try saying
Eh.
yeah.
Eh. Eh. Eh.
Like
Nook.
like
Nook.
you,
Eh. Nook.
Yeah. It's better, yeah.
Pinnook. 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 It's like I can't move the back of my throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pinnook.
Yeah, that's good.
Pinnook.
Sounding better. Yeah. Yeah, you're on the right track, I think.
That's hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely different.
Mhm.
Letty. Pinnook.
Pinnook.
One more time.
Pinnook.
So I'm gonna, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You gotta make it that I kind of creaky, like Pinnook.
Pinnook.
Hmm.
Pinnook.
So,
Like an like Pinnook.
It's like but eh.
Pin.
Like
Pin.
I don't know how else to explain it besides making your voice kind of like have that creaky sound, like
Pinnook. It's like in the back of my throat or something.
yeah.
Nook.
Yeah, I think that's better, yeah.
Pin.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're on the right track. Yeah. Good, good. Okay. And Kenwa, Pennook.
Pinook.
One more time.
In.
Okay. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking this. You know how we all say "in it,"
Yeah.
like "in it."
In it. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly it right there. Thank you. Yeah, like in it, aing, like so that's kind of that little bit of that creepiness. Yeah.
What about people saying like after like a sentence or following like a word?
Oh.
Stop it, or like there's like I hear people do that a lot too, like around me.
Oh, okay.
I always kind
Yeah.
of wondered about it, but
Yeah, could be. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so then here we have T. Toea, T.
T.
Okay, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
T.
T. Chris, T.
T.
Yep, pretty good. And Lisa, T.
T.
One more time.
T.
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 E. Yeah, so it kind of has like a little bit of like T. Little,
T. T.
yeah, better.
T.
Good. And Letty, T.
T.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear, but yeah, it's kind of that little bit of that T. Yeah. And Kenwa, T.
D. Oh wait, that's not a D. T.
There you go. Good. And
I
then
get
this
my
one,
T's mixed
what's up?
I get my T's and my D's mixed up. No.
Oh yeah. Yup. That'll happen. And then here we have Che. Toea, Che.
J.
Little creakier.
J.
There you go. Good.
Okay.
Toos. And Chris, Che.
Yeah.
Oh, one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And Lisa, Che.
J.
Little creakier, please. Just a little bit. If you can.
Okay. J. J.
Like think like a,
J.
after people tell a joke, a.
A.
Yeah.
J. J.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good. And Letty, J.
Joey.
He- and Kenwa, J.
J. Cheddar Joe.
Fine. Toos. All right. And then here we have Kukus. Toea, Kukus.
Gugus.
Okay, that was good. Yeah.
Okay.
And Chris, Kukus.
Goose.
Okay, yeah, pretty good. Cool. Like,
Goose.
kind of make that like K pop a little bit. Cool.
Goose.
Good, yeah. And Lisa, Kukus.
Kukus.
Okay, yeah, pretty good. Yeah. And Letty, Kukus.
Kukus.
One more time.
Focus.
Yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad. And Kenwa, cocos.
Cocos. Oh wait, I'm cocos. Is that K in the back of the throat? Huh. Say it
Kind,
again.
cocos.
Cocos.
Yeah, that was good. That was better. Yeah. And then here we have Qussi, Qussi, Qussi. Toya, Qussi.
Gussie.
Yeah, that was good. And Chris, Qussi.
Go see.
Yep, pretty
Oh.
good.
Let's see. Go see.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And Lisa, Qussi.
Cossi. Cossi.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Are you kind of getting back there on that key?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Trying.
Yeah.
I don't
no,
think I've ever used the, never mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah. No, I mean you're using your mouth and
Yeah,
everything
it's
in different
hard.
ways.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is. It is.
You guys are all doing it very well, but
Oh, yeah, this is good. And Letty, Qussi.
Qussi.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And Kenwa, Qussi.
Cosi.
Yeah. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. So, yeah, this is glottalized letters. I mean, I might exaggerate the creakiness a little bit on some of that, but it's just kind of a way to get you to practice doing that. And then yeah, I mean, just kind of even just saying these syllables like ah, 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 is kind of like a way to just practice making those sounds. Any questions on these letters?
Can you do those combinations one more time that you just did, those 4?
Sure, yeah. So and then and then and then and then good.
So is the aja the same as ajamawi?
I think that's more ajuja. I think I'm pretty sure that's just a plain j, ajumawi. Because Ajuma is river,
Mhm.
Ajuma, so Ajumawi.
So it's not ajamawi.
Yeah, I think that's more of just them writing it down, anglicizing it, and became Achumawi, but I think it was more Ajumawi
Ajuma. Yeah.
in our language. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because like if you actually break down Ajuma, the Jew means like that's like something like flowing or linearly like moving in a direction.
Wow.
And then the ma is like that way, thither. Like they translate it as thither, like Old English, but it means like that way, that direction. So it's like it's flowing that direction. So that's what the literal translation of river is. Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm pretty sure it's Jew instead of chew. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll do let's see. Yeah, we'll just do one more. So these are pretty straightforward. So MNLWY, these are pretty much the same as in English. So like ma, na, la, wa, ya. So I guess I'll just have you guys say these. So we have latiu is for 5, latiu, toe, latiu.
Latiu.
And Chris, latiu.
Latiu.
Yep, good. And Lisa, latiu.
Latu.
And Letty, latiu.
Latu.
Good. And Kenwa, latiu.
Latiu.
Yep. And then malis is fire. Malis, toea, malis.
Malis.
Yep.
Malis.
Yep. And Chris, malis.
Malis. Malis.
Malis.
Malis.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Good. And Lisa, malis. Malis. Yeah.
Malis.
Yep. Good. And Letty, malis.
Malis.
Yep. And Kenwa, malis.
Malis.
Yep. Then here we have wa. Toea, wa.
Wa.
Yep. And Chris, wa.
Wa.
Yep. Good. And Lisa, wa.
Wa.
Yep. Good. And Letty, wa.
Wa.
Yep. Good. And Kenwa, wa.
Wa.
Yep. Good. And then here we have Yaliu. Toea, Yaliu.
Y'all you.
Y'all
you.
Yeah, good. And Chris, Yaliu.
Yalu.
Good.
Yalu.
Good. And Lisa, Yaliu.
Yalu.
Yep, good. And Letty, Yaliu.
Yalu.
Yep, good. And Kenwa, Yaliu.
Yalu.
Yep, good. And then Ne Chali. Toea.
Ne Charlie.
Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
There's no glottal stop by the L. So it's Ne Chali.
Ne Cha.
Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
Ali.
Ali. Ne
Hey,
Charlie.
there
Okay.
you
Okay.
go. Yeah. And Chris, Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
Yep, good. And Lisa, Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
Yep, good. And Letty, Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
Good. And Kenwa, Ne Chali.
Ne Charlie.
Yep, pretty good. And then here it's just upriver they would say Ne Chali, and then downriver they'd say Le Chali. So I just put that in there just so you know. And yeah, so that any questions on these ones? This is pretty straightforward. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna do some departures. Last week we did greetings. So yeah, just like in Pitt River, we don't have an exact word for hello or hi. And we also don't have like a goodbye. You would just kind of say sapti, or sapte. I mean, I don't know why some people would just say sapti, and some would say sapte, but it's the same thing. And that just means I'm going. So if you're, hanging out with people and you're leaving, you just say sapti, I'm going, and you would go. Or you could say siwapte, which kind of means like I'm going back or I'm returning, but it can refer to like I'm going home, like I'm going back, like I'm going back home. So siwapte. And then this is a longer one, but tus kesuptas wachege. Tus. So tus, there it is again for like good, right? Kesuptas wachege. So take care of yourself. So basically, like you take good care of yourself. So this K is actually saying like you. Yeah, it's a long word, but it's a good one. Good departure. Tus kesuptas wachege. Then this one is lahupta. Lahupta is like let's go. So if you're talking to somebody else and you just say lahupta, you're saying like let's go. And then lahepta is like let's go back. Lahepta. And then this is a really good one to know. Mehenimacho. Mehenimacho. So that's like the literal translation is like let's us to see, like but it kind of means you're saying like we will see each other, like see you later. Mehenimacho. You can also say lupta or lepta is like you're saying like I'm gonna go, like you mostly would say sapti, but it's kind of more of a like really intentional way to say it. And then here we have slahupta or slahepta. So this is similar to number 4 here, but if you add the S on it, so that'd be like if I was talking to you, and I said slahupta, I would say like me and this other person are going. So it's excluding the person that you're talking to. So it'd be like me, if I was talking to I don't know, if I was talking to Toea and I said slahupta, and like me and Chris and Toea were hanging out, and I said to Toea slahupta, then I'd say like me and Chris are going. Does that make sense? And then yeah, slahepta is the same thing, like yeah, let's go back. And then lahuptecha. So that would be, so lahupta refers to you and one other person. Lahuptecha would be if there's more than 2 people, then you'd say lahuptecha, like let's all go. And then slahuptecha would be let's all go except the person that you're talking to. Yeah. Or we're all going, right? So yeah, there's a lot of them that I kind of threw at you, but I wanted to put all those there so you could kind of fit it to the situation you're in. But the most common one is sapti, mehinimacho, and then tus kesuptas wachige. Usually most straightforward ones.
When you're putting phrases together, do you go from like, is it like English? Like, does it go from order of how you're saying it? Like, would you say like, I'm going, take good care of yourself? Or, like in Spanish, how things are like backwards. Times first, like, when putting together phrases in Achimawi, like, do you just order them after each other, left to right, or?
It kind of depends. I mean, it doesn't matter. The order doesn't matter as much in this language. because it's more of a like a lot of these bigger, longer words are made up of like smaller pieces. So that's kind of more of what matters is like what pieces you like the word is made out of. Um, but yeah, certain, depending on the sentence, then like kind of the order matters. Um, so like, if I was leaving and I just told you Sapti, I'm going, and then you could say, Mihinim macho, like see you later, and then I could say tus kesuptas wachige, like take good care of yourself, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could say kesuptas wachige tus. I mean, that you could maybe, I don't know. It would probably just sound funny. Or thinking of like, here we have like chumi sunwi, right? I don't know if you could say misunwi chu, like that might that might sound kind of funky. I don't know, it's a good question because a lot of other like sentences and stuff that I've seen, like the order doesn't matter a ton, but kind of after a while you kind of get a feel of just what kind of seems right. And then there's certain words where like the order does matter, but it's not as much as like English, because like English does conveys a lot of meaning through the order of the words. And then Pit River, not as much. It's more of like what is in the words. If that makes sense. Like, yeah. Like here you have the M is for when I'm asking you a question, right? So the M is like you, second person, right? I'm asking you. And then this S, that means me, I or me. So that's kind of what, yeah. And then the Su here is feel. So this is you feel, right? You and then feel. And then this is I and then feel. So that's what I mean by the pieces. So all the little pieces that make up a bigger word, those all mean something.
So like when you say tusi,
Uh-huh.
like, so right there when you broke it down, tus,
Mhm.
and then si sunwi.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say tusi, like good, is that not correct then?
Oh no, it is correct. There's so you have tus, right? That's like right here, tus, and then you have think what you're asking, because there's also tus, tusi. So there's two versions. Those both mean good. Those are both correct.
Okay.
It's that it's like there's just a slight difference when you're using them. Like I think usually that you see tus is like this one is usually attached or like comes before another word. It's like if you're describing something, then tus is just that's kind of my like being good. Like it's just kind of more of on its own.
Oh. Yeah, because I used to hear my grandma say that all the time. That's why when you were saying that, I was a bit confused. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the same. They're both correct. They both mean good. It's just usually when it's tous sisunwi, it's just tous is usually in front of something, or we have tous kesupta swachige.
uh-huh.
Yeah. But if I said, chumi sunwi, and you didn't want to say I feel good, you just wanted to say good, you could just say tusi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My grandma used to always say, tusi, grief
That's funny. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the time. If you guys want to if you're able to stay, we would do a little conversation where we just kind of build on the greeting one from last week, and then we say, see you or whatever at the end. So yeah, we'll try that real quick. So like same like last week, chumi sunwi, tusi sunwi, or jesui tusta sunchi, magami, it amaitu, right? And then, and you can say, okay, sapti, or, macho, or siwapte. And then, the other person can respond, tuskisupta swachige, or macho, or whichever one of these you want to say. I just kind of put some of the more common ones right here. Okay. So yeah, let's try this. So yeah, Toe, you weren't here last week, but did you kind of catch that conversation part at the end of the lesson?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Okay, so let's try this. Toe. Oh, and the reason, like, I just kind of go in order of how you guys show up on my screen. So in case you were wondering, like,
I'm like, why does he keep picking me first?
yeah, it's just because you're at the top on my screen.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
how I just do it, just to make it easy. Yeah. So Toya Chumi Sunwi.
Tesu Sunwi.
Ah,
Magame.
it amaitu tusi sunwi.
Okay, I'm just picking one out of here.
Yeah.
Na him and na Joe.
Mehenimacho.
Say that again.
Mehenimacho.
My him.
So this all break.
him.
Mehenimacho. So mehe.
Mahe.
Nim.
Mim.
Nim.
Nim.
Yep. And then ma.
Na Joe.
Ma. Joe.
Joe.
Yeah. Mehenimacho.
Oh, well, I picked a hard one. Sapti. I'm going.
Hey. Tuskasuptas wachige. Okay. Now you got to ask somebody.
Oh, okay. Lisa. Chimisunwi.
Susi Sunwi. Magami. And you?
Lupta. I'm just picking. Tesusunwi. Oh, Tesusunwi. Lupta. Did I say that right? Like, I'm good. Let's go. Oh, I'm go back. Oh, I did it wrong. Okay.
Now Lisa asked somebody.
Oh. Okay, Letty. Chumi Sunwi.
Jesui tusta sunchi magami.
Itamaitu. Sakti?
Mihinamato to skisupto asawachige. I said that so bad, but
No, you did great.
skisupta swachige. Mom, chumashi.
The quality na Larry. Tusisunui, madami.
Ai tomato to susunui.
Oh, maheni macho.
Do I need to respond again?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Connor. Oh.
I said Luca, right? Because that's like a. She said, "Hey, let's see each other," and I said, "All right, let's go." Is that correct?
The hoopta.
La hoopta, la hoopta.
Yeah.
So I was teasing her because my auntie, like my mom, my aunt, my uncle, all their first language was Pit River.
Oh, right on.
So my aunt, when like she's insistent, like in Medici, they would say chumashi, like that. And so like Letty talked to her, and then so Letty was asking me about that, and I explained to her what that difference was. And I'm not quite sure exactly like chumashi, if it's like a shortened version, or do you know how to translate that?
Like slang?
It could just, yeah. I mean, I've heard that too. Yeah, I've heard, yeah, like in Medici they would say chumashi. I don't know why specifically, or if there's like a translation, or if it's just like yeah, just a shortened way to say it. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I've heard that. And if that's how they said it, then that's that's cool. Like,
yeah, I was talking to her, Letty too, and I kind of questioned it, like if it was just Medici or not, or if it was just kind of like a slang, like you know how like we always hear like the qualimo, like
yeah,
like that. If it was just like a slang thing to say, because they lived across the street in Anderson from the Indian church, and lots of Pit River people would go to that church. And then when they were done at church, then they would go over to my great grandma's house, and they all talked. So I was wondering if it's just more of a slang thing, or if it was just specifically Medici. My auntie said it was Medici, but I was just thinking about it, like not to undermine my auntie, but just like thinking, I wonder if it was slang or not. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be kind of a slang thing, or it could just be like a regional thing. It's hard to say without like,
Have you heard that, Chris?
Found a handwritten transcript from 90.
Who was talking?
Aurelia, she wrote down that it's what's in the bag. So what I'm thinking is, like, you haven't seen it in a long time, they have like a backpack or they're carrying like goods, and it's like, or what do you have? What's in the bag, or like that? I don't know.
Oh, the Dequalimo?
Yeah, that's what she wrote in the this handwritten like transcript, like words and phrases and stuff. But no confirmation there. But I think like there to be a good greeting
Yeah.
In the
What's
South, beans.
Yeah, it's kind of like I thought it was like like a what's up, because it translates, the literal translation of Dak Walimo is Dak is what, and then Wali is kind, and Mo is like kind of like might it be. So it's like, what kind might it be? What kind is it? Kind of like, could be like, it kind of sounds like a slang greeting, like, like what's up? Because you're literally asking what is up, right? The literal meaning in English, what is up, is you're asking like something is up,
Mhm.
but it's slang. It's it's how it's a slang English greeting. So Dakwalimo, what kind is it? What kind might it be? Could be a slang, way to greet people.
Like what do you got for me, or like what?
Yeah, what you got for me? Or like what activity are you doing? Like what maybe?
Or like friends, or like cousins, or like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
really
kind of
my grandpa used to be with her forever, so she's like my step grandma, even though she's not my biological grandma. She used to say, "Oh, gee," when she'd like end a sentence, or like you'd say something, and she was kind of like not making a joke of it, but like being in agreement, or "Oh, really?" kind of thing. Yeah, I can hear her. She used to talk. It sounded like she taught from the way back here. I don't know if any of you guys really, anybody knew, did anybody know her?
At a late age,
Mm-hmm.
3 years.
We used to go fishing. She put her hand down in the river and grab a fish by its face, and eat the eyeballs and everything, pickle fish eyeballs. Oh man, it's Pit Rivers.
Omega oils.
Yeah, that's true. That's some healthy stuff.
Not anymore, I'm sure, but it used to be.
Yeah. Before, like mercury and all that stuff got dumped in the rivers.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Oh yeah, Chris, did you go yet?
I haven't.
I think Ken was supposed to ask Chris.
Oh, okay. Chumisumwe, Chris.
Uh,
Oh, you muted.
you did. Okay, so tis Sisui Makwami.
So no, let me see. Am I to Asusa Isla? Would you say it like that?
Sasula Aya? Are you trying to say
Aya, but would you say it am I to or no?
well, he said Tusi Sunwi.
Oh, never mind.
So you gotta say, yeah, if you were the
it
same, then you'd say me too, right?
Yeah. It ami to Sisunwi.
And if you just wanted to say Sasula Aya, then you don't have to say it Amaitu. You could just say Sasula Aya. I feel happy.
So let me say just Sasula Aya.
All right, let's put it here. Here, yeah, go ahead. Say it.
So is it it's Chris's turn or mine?
I think it would be Chris.
Oh, so I said I'm good, and you. And she said she's good, and then now we're like in a transition to departures.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sapi.
Okay. Connor, can you say the tus kisua? I can't say that. I want to say
Sure.
that word.
Tus que suptas wa chegué.
Tus kisuptas wa chuge.
Yeah, tusi. Good. All right, now Chris, you gotta ask me. I haven't gone yet.
Chemin Samui.
Tusi sunwi, marami.
Samui. Sapti.
Mahinim macho.
Cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, any questions on these departures?
Is this recorded so we could go back and look at it like on the YouTube last week?
Yeah, it's recording right
Right.
now, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll post it up like later today or tomorrow.
So you put it directly onto YouTube?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. It's if you remember, yeah, it's under important links on the Google Drive, this important links folder, and then YouTube. And then if you open this document, this is the link to the playlist for these classes. And then I have other videos on there with me and Paul and Lisa. We just kind of made some other videos, kind of goofing around, and actually few of them I used for my master's project. But yeah, that's up there. So
Cool.
yeah.
Maybe I won't talk so much then.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, for real.
I'll
Well,
be like,
I'll stop recording